News Talk 1420 WHK takes time out from its regular scheduled programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
Whalen has the shotgun snap, wings it into the end zone, and nicely is there, makes the catch, it's a touchdown.
It's time for Case Western Reserve football. Today's game is brought to you by Rascal House Pizza, nothing but good stuff in the heart of University Circle. The Intercontinental Hotel, featuring the Table 45 restaurant and bar. By Hampton Inn, we love having you here. RTA, Public Square to University Circle and 20 minutes flat on the RTA Health Line. Quiznos at University Circle, love what you eat. By Riley Painting and Contracting, we know our customers' needs. The Euclid Tavern, a great bar in University Circle. And by the Doubletree Cleveland Downtown Lakeside Hotel, an official hotel partner of Case Athletics.
Bobby Bott takes the football at his own 17, breaks through the line, out to the 40, to the 45, to the 50, down to the 40, to the 30, he's on the far sideline, to the 20, to the 10, he takes it in for a touchdown.
Case Football is an exclusive presentation of Case Western Reserve Athletics and Salem Communications. Now for all the hard-hitting action of Spartan football, here's Dave Wilson and Ed Doherty.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Case Western Reserve Football. We are in Granville, Ohio tonight as the Spartans take on the Denison Big Red in Division III football action. Great to have you with us. The opening kickoff has occurred. Brian Metalsitz has returned it 11 yards out to the Case 31, and the first handoff of the game for the Spartans goes to Corey Checken, the senior, who rumbles forward out to the 36-yard line, and they'll mark him up to the 37 on the first play of the football game, and the Spartans will be looking at a second down and around 5 here as they have the ball for the first time in the football game. We're just underway in the first quarter on a very pleasant night here in Granville on the campus of Denison University, playing under the lights tonight as the Spartans go for their 4th consecutive win this season. Whalen rolls out, fires middle of the field to Cowdrick, and he goes down to one knee and makes the catch. And the Spartans break into Denison territory as Cowdrick makes the grab at the 47-yard line. 1st and 10 Spartans as Case moves in that no-huddle offense. The Spartans 3-0, ranked 9th in America, according to the Division3Football.com poll. Spartans with 24 consecutive regular season wins, looking to make it 25 here tonight. Whalen to the air, goes to DJ Sutka on the far sideline, and Sutka is tackled just inside the 40, just short of the first down. It'll be a 2nd and 1 for the Spartans, and Ed Doherty, the Spartans back in action tonight as they have rolled through their first 3 opponents, the bye week last week, and so 2 weeks since the last Case action, and that was that big win against Oberlin as Whalen again drops back to throw. Now he steps up, fires to Cowdrick again right between the hash marks, and he makes the catch at the 24-yard line, and the Spartans moving it quickly here, Ed, against this Denison defense.
Well, they're in the hurry-up offense, and Dan Whalen on the drive, 3 for 3 on the evening. He's completing over 79% of his passes on the season. He leads the nation in completion percentage, leads the nation in touchdown passes and touchdown to interception ratio. Whalen just looks very comfortable. Nothing seems to rattle him. And tonight, opening drive has moved him down 55 yards already.
They'll put it on the ground and put it into the hands of Greg Meyer. And Meyer runs straight ahead, picks up the first down. He picks up, pardon me, that was the first down play. Picks up 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9. 12:36 to go here in the first quarter. We're just underway here from Granville on the campus of Denison University. A beautiful field here, Deeds Field at Piper Stadium, the home of the Denison Big Red. They will dump this off to Meyer, makes the catch, 20, just inside the 20. He's finally tripped up at the 19-yard line.
Well, Meyer is also a threat to catch the ball out of the backfield. He, so far this season, just short of 200 yards rushing, but has over 100 yards receiving as well. That's Meyer's 9th reception. on the season, so a double threat that Case really hasn't had in years past.
Meyer tonight will surpass the 1,000 rushing yards mark for his career. He had a 1-yard run a moment ago, which leaves him at 999 for his career. Whalen wants to go up top, looking for nicely, and overthrows his intended target. Drew Homick on the coverage, as the Spartans will be looking now at a 4th down and 6 from the Big Red 19-yard line.
Well, and technically Case entered the red zone, and that's been a problem. If you want to point to a problem that Case has had this year, they are just 11 of 19 in scoring touchdowns in the opponent's red zone on the season. Only 14 of 19 in scoring overall in the red zone.
Sam Coffey will come out and attempt a field goal. Snap back to Colasar. He puts it down at the 26. This is a 36-yard attempt, and it is good for Sam Coffey, the junior out of Middletown, Ohio, and he puts the Spartans on the board by a score of 3-0 as the Spartans are successful on their first trip down the field. And Ed Sam Coffey, with his longest field goal of the season, was 3 of 7 coming into this game, but boots through a 36-yarder.
Yeah, for Coffey on the season, he hadn't converted over 25 yards, was 0 for 4 when attempting 30-plus on the season. So nice to see Coffey get back in the positive column, kicking field goals. Last couple of years, Coffey's been quite a weapon for the Spartans, not only in the place-kicking duties, but also kicking off and pinning teams deep.
11:40 to go here in the first quarter. Great to have you with us for Case football here on AM 1420 WHK. We welcome all of you listening on the internet as well at case.edu. Spartans up by a score of 3-0 after the Spartans took the opening drive at the 31 and marched downfield, culminating in the 36-yard field goal for Sam Coffey. And Coffey will approach the football again, and he puts the right foot into it, end-over-end kick, all the way back to the 7-yard line. It'll be brought out by the Big Red, tackled at the 23-yard line, and that's where the Big Red will take over with their first offensive possession of the night. And they will be starting a freshman quarterback tonight as Nick Stevens, a 6-foot, 180-pound signal caller, comes out to make his first collegiate start. He's out of Los Angeles, California. Big Red is 1-2 on the season. They have dropped their last 2 games, including their last action against Worcester. Stevens will go back. He'll hand this one to their main tailback, Nick Krimpaski. And Krimpaski is tackled. He's a 5'10 senior out of San Clemente, California. So a couple of California products running the offense tonight for the Denison Big Red.
A couple of offensive adjustments needed to be made for Denison. They have to go to the freshman Braden Layer, their sophomore quarterback from Upper Arlington, Ohio, is out tonight. Suffered an injury during practice. He's in street clothes, so they go with the freshman. Another different set is a 3-wide receiver set. Denison prefers to be out of the pro set and run the football.
Stevens will go back. He'll dump this one off to Krimpaski on a screen. He has big yardage out across the 40 to the 45-yard line before he is finally tripped up. Spartans' defensive backfield finally got him as Greg Kingscott was able to effect the tackle. A first down for Denison and big yardage on the short screen pass.
Well, the screen pass was effective because Case has gone to their 4-2 alignment, and Jeff Brown is not in the football game, and they have 5 defensive backs. Well, they brought Sasala on the blitz with the 4-down lineman. That left nobody in the middle of the field. The screen pass over the lineman, and plenty of room for Krimpaski to run.
20-yard pickup on the catch and run. They will fake a handoff, and now Stevens launches deep, has a man open, and it is going to be picked off by Kingscott. Greg Kingscott diving and picking it off just before it hit the turf.
And Stevens underthrew the football. He had a receiver out there, had some steps, and just didn't throw it far enough, and Kingscott came out of nowhere. Nice one-handed grab, right-handed, coming over from his free safety position. Hauled it in, rolled to the turf. And the threat that Denison was making as they approach midfield dies. with the interception by King Scott. I think that's the 7th interception for Case this season.
7th team interception and the first for Greg King Scott. So he recorded a tackle on the big gain by Krimpaski and then comes back on the next play and picks off the pass, and the Spartans have the ball back. And they start this at the 23-yard line. They hand it off to Tim Cowdrick, and he tries to turn the corner but does not have big yardage.
And Cowdrick turned a 5-yard loss into a 6-yard gain. A couple of nifty moves in the backfield. Cowdrick came out of his slot in motion and took the option flip from Whalen in the reverse direction. Made a couple of nice moves, picked up 6 yards.
2nd down and 4. They will flip this one back to Whalen on the shotgun snap. He rolls out to his right, throws on the run looking for Colasar, and it is a bounced pass to Colasar. He trapped it, so incomplete. Colasar, the intended target, got to the ball but just did not get his hands under there as he dove to catch it. And it'll be 3rd down and 4 for Case here. 3-0 Spartans. 9:38 to go here in the first quarter at Piper Stadium here in Granville, Ohio.
Nobody in the middle of the field. Denison walking up their free safety.
Whalen looks to the sideline again. Hits nicely on the run, but he's taken out at the 35. That should be good for the first down.
Drew Homick came over. Homick was the free safety that approached the line of scrimmage, and Case ran a little inside-out move with their 3 wide receivers on the right side of the formation. That allowed the space to be generated for Cowdrick to catch the ball and pick up the first down.
9:20 to play. First quarter. Now Whalen checks off at the line of scrimmage, changes up the play, 15 on the play clock. Case leading it 3-0. Whalen gets the snap, drops back, looks over the middle of the field. Again, they hit Cowdrick across the 40, 45, ankle tackled, and goes down right at midfield.
That's 4 catches on the evening already for Tim Cowdrick. He had 18 coming into the football game. Cowdrick was leading this team in scoring, Dave. He had 6 touchdowns on the season, 30 points, leads the team.
Cowdrick against Oberlin, 7 catches, 99 yards 2 weeks ago tonight. First down and 10. They are in Denison territory at the 49-yard line. Whalen takes the snap, hands it off. This is Greg Meyer, cuts it back upfield and dives out close to the 41-yard line before he is finally stopped and tackled by Bill Ackerman, the linebacker out of Greensburg, Pennsylvania. It'll be a short 2nd down for the Spartans as Meyer picks up 7. Now over the 1,000-yard mark as a Spartans running back. We'll hear from Greg Meyer coming up at halftime today, and now whistles blow before the next snap. The officials pointing to the auxiliary scoreboard. Spartans are in there traveling white uniforms tonight with the blue numerals, the blue trim, white helmets with the blue Spartan logo. Denison Big Red, and what else? They're red jerseys, white pants, black trim, also in white helmets. Spartans 3-0 on the season, ranked 9th in the country. Meyer will get the handoff again, and he is met right at the 40-yard line. Might have picked up 1. Short of the first down. It'll be 3rd down for Case. They give him a very favorable spot there, Greg, or Ed, on the carry by Greg Meyer. I thought he was hit at the 40, but they mark him at the 39 and a first down.
He had a slight twist at the end of the play and reached out with the football. I wonder if that's where they put the ball and marked it on that maybe possible 3rd effort. Case now brings in 2 tight ends. Bryce Coleman is in along with DJ Sutka.
Coleman caught a touchdown pass against Oberlin. Now they hand to Corey Check, and he breaks free for a 6-yard gain as he goes straight up the middle off right tackle and ends up at the 34-yard line. Pick up a 5 for Corey Checken. Checken also closing in on 1,000 for his career, Ed. Needs 40 yards tonight to reach 1,000, and you talk about Corey Checken getting that 1,000 about 2-3 yards at a time, and that's a lot of work.
On the season, Chekin averaging 3.3 yards per carry. I went back and looked today, and in the last 4 seasons, or 3+ seasons, Chekin's only had 6 total carries for negative yards.
Yeah, has not been thrown for a loss this year. 0 negative yards this year for Corey Chekin. 2nd down and 6. Football marked on the Denison 34. Case leading it by a score of 3-0. Sam Coffey earlier, a 36-yard field goal. Spartans have the ball right now. They will hand this one to Derek Bush, who is back in action tonight for the first time this season after suffering a quad injury in preseason practice. And Bush gets 3 yards up to the 31. 3rd down and 2 now for Case as Derek Bush has his first carry of the season, the 5'8 junior out of Katanning, Pennsylvania. Whalen again with 3 receivers on the left.
And Denison with everybody within 6 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Whalen goes up top looking deep downfield, and it is going to be caught by Colasar at the 2-yard line.
It's one-on-one out there on everybody's on an island in the defensive secondary for Denison as Drew Homick continues to walk towards the line of scrimmage and become another man in the box, become an 8th man in the box. By doing so, all Whalen has to do is throw the ball out beyond the defense and let his receivers go get it, and that's exactly what Colasar did on that play.
29-yard pickup to Ryan Colasar, and now the Spartans 1st and goal from the 2. There's Chekin, and he's in for the touchdown. Chekin goes in untouched, and the Spartans extend the lead now to 9-0 as Corey Chekin picks up his first rushing touchdown of the season, a 2-yard gain, and the Spartans score a touchdown for the first time tonight, and they have hit the scoreboard on both of their first 2 possessions of the night.
Marcus Kluzinski and Tony Opperman with a fantastic block on that left side of the formation.
There is Sam Coffey with the extra point. It is up and it is good, and the Spartans extend the lead now to 10-0 with 6:44 to go here in the first quarter. We'll step away for this 30-second timeout and be back with more after this on the Spartans Broadcasting Network.
I have this cool cash. What can I do with it? You can turn it into a hot meal at Rascal House. It's the best value in town. What do they have there? Buckets of wings, pasta, sandwiches, salads, and of course, great pizza. Are they open late? You bet. Open every night till 2:30 a.m. And you can even build your own pizza and order it online at rascalhousepizza.com. Cool. See you at the Spartans game? Yep, and see you after at Rascal House.
This is Case Western Reserve Football on News Talk 1420 WHK.
Ten to nothing Case with 6:44 to go here in the first quarter. And Whalen tonight 7 of 9 for 94 yards already, Ed. And he has found some receivers in one-on-one coverage, and they've been able to get a step and some separation. And he is racking up some yardage very impressively so far. Coffey's kick bounces at the 15, and it's picked up and run back to the 23-yard line. Returned on a very brief return by Sam Fiorini, the freshman out of Clarkston, Michigan, and that's where the Big Red will take over. And there's an injured Case player down on the field. I can't quite see the number on the back of the player, Ed, but there is an injured Spartan being attended to by the training staff.
I can't tell the number either, but
6:42 to go here in the first quarter. Corey Chekin scoring on a 2-yard run following the big 29-yard completion to Ryan Colasar.
That might be Sutka down. I thought it was Paramore at first.
It looks like there is a 0 on the back of the player, and I cannot see the other number. And it is not 10. That is Brad Paramore. He is standing in the backfield with the other Case players. But there is an injury on the field. What we will do here is take a 30-second timeout. And again, 6:42 to go here in the first quarter. 10-0 Spartans. And we will take a 30 and be back in just a moment here on the Spartans Broadcasting Network.
Everyone needs rest for the mind and body. Plan your R&R getaway at the Intercontinental Cleveland or Intercontinental Suites Cleveland with the Cleveland Plus Pass package starting at only $155 per night, plus tax. Treat yourself to comfortable accommodations, overnight valet parking, and a 2-day Cleveland Plus Pass to as many as 10 nearby attractions. The Intercontinental is located just 1 mile west of University Circle in Cleveland's Cultural Corridor. Call 216-707-4100. That's 216-707-4100. Or visit IntercontinentalCleveland.com.
This is Case Western Reserve Football on News Talk 1420 WHK.
Well, it's still an injury timeout here on the field here at Denison. We are at Piper Stadium, bringing you Case Western Reserve Football tonight against the Denison Big Red. Case 3-0, ranked 9th in the country and the Division III ranks, coming off a 41-6 win over Oberlin back on the 19th. Meanwhile, as we told you, Denison has lost 2 straight. They were beaten at Worcester last Saturday, 26-7. Right now, the injured player about to be helped up. But whatever the injury is, and we will get a look at the number here, it looks as if we will momentarily. But the injury is significant. But the player now is in a seated position, and it looks like it was Bobby Bott. Bobby Bott, the preseason All-American, was the man down, and he is walking off under his own power with the training staff. So it's some anxious moments there, Ed, but it appears that Bott is okay and walking back to the Case sideline.
Looks dazed and confused, like he got hit maybe in the head or had his neck snapped back. They had him initially laying face down, then rolled him over slowly and then sat him up. So
10-0 Case. The Big Red with the football. They will hand this one to Yandy Placencia. And Placencia dives out over the 25, gets close to the 28-yard line, picks up 5, and it's 2nd down and 5 for the Denison Big Red.
Placencia, another out-of-state player coming from Miami, Florida. So your backfield is from California, and Florida.
6:18 to go, first quarter. Beautiful setting here for college football on the Denison campus. Artificial surface. They will hand this one to Krimpaski straight up the middle. Some hard running, and he gets out across the 35-yard line. Plenty of yardage for the first down. Krimpaski came in with 280 rushing yards on the season and 3 touchdowns, so he is their featured back. He's out to the 37-yard line, so a 9-yard pickup. First down and 10 with 5:55 to go here in the first quarter. Beautiful trees and some hills in the background here for the fans who watch football here. They'll hand this one to Krimpaski, and boy, he is a straight-ahead runner, Ed, as he blasts his way past the 40 out to the 42-yard line. He picks up 5 more.
Well, that's the Denison forte. They would prefer to keep the ball on the ground and shorten this game as much as possible. They run the ball in a 3-to-1 ratio between rush and pass. Coming into the football game, they had 139 rushes and only 54 passes on the season. So their agenda is certainly to run the ball, and if they can run it between the tackles, they think Krimpaski can hit the line hard, and they think the little traps are going to clear the way for him up front.
They are starting the freshman at quarterback tonight, Nick Stevens. 6-foot, 180-pounder. He rolls out, throws on the run, has a man open, and it's caught in traffic. Threads the needle very well that time to Sean Eagle, the tight end, 6'3" junior, and he makes the catch for the first down across midfield as they break into Case territory all the way to the 46-yard line.
Brandon Taylor checks in at wide receiver for Denison. Greg Jones came limping to the sideline.
Clock goes back in motion as they set the change. 4:39 to play. 10-0 Case. First quarter action at Denison University. The Spartans 3-0 on the season. Stevens back to throw. Wings it to the far sideline near the Case bench.
Late
incomplete, and a flag comes out.
Greg Kingscott was on coverage. Wonder if they're going to get Kingscott for a hold as the receiver came out of his break.
It looks like it will be a pass interference penalty called against the Spartans. And this will give the Big Red a first down. 4:27 to go, first quarter. Case up 10-0.
Jeff Brown has come in at linebacker for Case. Brown's first appearance. He was in on the last play.
Brown missed the Oberlin game with a sore shoulder, and he has that heavily taped here tonight. And he is back in action, as Ed said, for the Spartans. Had a chance to rest for 3 weeks after missing the Oberlin game and then having the bye week with no action last Saturday.
Had that shoulder stinger against Rochester.
Krimpaski straight up the middle as the Spartans were showing blitz. And he rumbles forward to the 30, might give him the 29, and he picks up 5 more.
Well, Denison is doing something the first 3 teams of the season have not been able to do against the Case defense, and that's run the football and run it effectively between the tackles. Case has given up just 87 yards a game on the ground, and that includes 2 games in which the reserves played most of the second half. Another fact about the Case defense is the front 6, and if you throw Adam Watson in at defensive lineman, the front 7 are the 7 of the top 8 tacklers on this football team. So teams are not getting to the second level against Case.
They will hand this one to Krimpaski, and he was trying to run behind Kevin Drake, the right tackle out of Norwalk, Ohio, and the Spartans were able to blow him up and got to Krimpaski for a short gain, picked up 1 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Michael Harris just checks in, the freshman from Shaker Heights at defensive line. If that looks right to me, Case has 5 defensive linemen in the football game. A 5-2 set for the Spartans.
Yeah, 2 linebackers in there right now with Brown, and it looks like Lisa Sala. 1 man in motion. Stevens on 3rd down and 3 goes back. He'll keep it himself now as he tries to get out for first down yardage. He needed to get to the 24. He's tackled right at the 25-yard line, and we'll see where the spot is.
Denison only had 10 men on the field for that play. They brought 3 off, only 2 on. They ran that 3rd down play short a player.
Well, he ends up a yard short. It is 4th down and 1. And the crowd wants the Big Red to go for it, and it looks like they will. Krimpaski is in there as the lone running back. Ryan Barrett lines up as fullback. Tight end now shifts out to a wide receiver. They will give it to Krimpaski. He puts his head down and looks to have it. Well, he hit the pile and drove a couple of guys back in. He packs a punch.
That second effort really moved the pile less than a yard, but that's all he needed. He had enough head of steam coming 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Ran hard till he got a yard past the line, and that last half yard was the bull move where he put his shoulder down and simply moved the pile like a rugby scrum, enough to move the chains for the Denison Big Red.
So it is a first down for the Big Red. The drive continues with 2:05 to play here in the first quarter.
Case has now gone to it's 5-2, but Paramore's come up to play linebacker.
They will hand this one. Nope, fake handoff. Stevens keeps it, fires complete down at the 15-yard line.
That offensive line for Denison did a nice job picking up the blitz. Jeff Brown came from the right side, and Denison offensive line checked down and forced everybody to the outside. 6 players, and Denison picked them all up.
They connect with Sean Eagle again, the tight end, who's becoming the favorite target for Stevens tonight. Now 90 seconds left in the first quarter. The football is marked at the 14-yard line. That was a pickup of 9.
Spartans have yet to surrender a point in the first quarter this season.
2nd down and 1. Spartans leading it 10-0. Stevens will go back, hands to Nick Krimpaski, turns the right corner, takes a hit from Dan Calabrese and gets knocked out of bounds.
Paramore was there as well, pursuing from the outside.
Picks up 2 on the play.
But it'll be enough for a first down.
Should be first and goal now as they will mark this football.
Now they're going to mark him just outside the 10.
Yep, at the 11, you're right, Ed. So they can get a first down at the 1-yard line. 1 minute to play here in the first quarter. 10-0 Case. Spartans and Denison Big Red tonight from Granville, Ohio. Great to have you with us for our coverage of Spartans football. Defense trying to rise to the occasion here. Rolling out to the left. Stevens fires to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Lucas Graham, the sophomore wide receiver out of Zanesville, Ohio, makes the grab, and it's a touchdown for the Big Red. And they pull to within 10-6, pending the PAT.
The Spartans defense simply over-pursued on the play fake to the right. The line crashed down, lost containment. Stevens was able to roll to his left, set his feet, shift his shoulders, and threw a strike to the back of the end zone.
Here's the kick by Kevin Schneider, and it's partially blocked. Case got a hand on that. Might have been Zach Holmick on the PAT coverage, but the ball was deflected, or was it good?
It was good. It went through. It was deflected.
It was definitely deflected, but it was good. I thought, Ed, as soon as that ball came off, and you could see that it was tipped, I did not think it went through, but they did say it was good, so it is 10-7. And the Big Red become the first team to score a first quarter point against the Spartans this year.
Well, another sign that the Case defense against some lesser competition has not been able to shut the defense or the offense down. That's the 6th trip in the red zone for a opponent's offense this season against the Case defense. All 6 have come away with touchdowns.
Maybe some updated stats here. Nick Krimpaski now with 28 yards on 7 carries. Lucas Graham, the touchdown pass. 11-yard strike from Nick Stevens, who throws his first collegiate touchdown here in the first quarter tonight. 47 seconds left in the first quarter. The kickoff will go back, is fielded at the 17-yard line by Brian Metalsitz. His return is out across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Return of 20 yards for Brian Metalsitz, the sophomore. And the Spartans will have it with 42 seconds left here in the first quarter. So the Spartans with a field goal from Sam Coffey, a touchdown run by Corey Chekin. They have a 3-point lead here at 10-7. Offense comes back out with the senior quarterback Dan Whalen. He has Chekin in the backfield.
And a 2 tight end set with Coleman and Sutka.
Sutka on the right side. They will hand it to Chekin straight up the middle. Gets to the 40-yard line. Picks up a couple on the play. And there are 30 seconds left in the first quarter. We'll see if they get another play off. They now start the play clock, so there is less time to go in the first quarter than the play clock has right now. And it looks like Whalen will run another play. Now 13 seconds left in the first quarter. 10-7 Case. Whalen takes the snap, drops to throw. Quick out, goes to Colasar near the 48-yard line. He's taken down. Tackle by Pat Eppinger, the sophomore from Pickerington, Ohio, and that will be the end of the first quarter. 10-7, Spartans leading it by 3. Second quarter action is coming up in just a moment on the Spartans Broadcasting Network.
Elise, come on, it's game day. You've got all weekend to study.
Jen, this has nothing to do with studying. I've got to work. The way the economy is, I figure I'll be working for the next century just to pay off these student loans.
Well, you know...
I know. You joined the National Guard, so your college is completely paid for. Yes, you've mentioned it a couple thousand times.
The National Guard Scholarship covers up to 100% of your tuition. Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Ohio National Guard. Aired by the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Hi, it's Hugh Hewitt.
When your liberal friends tell you how wonderful the British healthcare system is or how gun control will prevent violence, how do you come up with an answer? The best way, besides listening to this radio station, is to get Glenn Beck's hilarious new book, Arguing with Idiots. It's full of facts that will settle every argument from climate change to illegal immigration. It's available in bookstores now, but you'll get Glenn Beck's new book free when you subscribe to Town Hall Magazine, where thoughtful conservatives get intelligent insights every month. So for Glenn Beck's brand new book, log on to townhallmagazine.com. That's townhallmagazine.com.
This is Case Western Reserve Football on News Talk 1420 WHK.
David Wilson, Ed Doherty back here at Piper Stadium on the campus of Denison University. Dan Whalen going deep. First play of the second quarter, looking for Zach Homick.
Homick stumbled. He had 2 steps, and the ball was perfectly thrown. Homick at the 15-yard line just lost his balance and couldn't come up with it.
He lays out for it, but could not haul it in. It'll be second down and 10. So the Spartans going for the deep ball on the first play of the second quarter.
Hard to imagine Whalen now 7 of 10 on the football game, and at 7 of 10, his completion percentage on the season has fallen.
He came in with a percentage of 79.1% on the season, 72 of 91 in his first 3 games. So now Dan Whalen says, nope, it's not to his liking as far as the offensive alignment, and he uses a timeout. 14:53 to go here in the second quarter. The Spartans use their first timeout. We will keep it here. And, Ed, we do need to make mention of a very important announcement at Case Western Reserve. And, of course, our listeners have heard us talk quite often about Craig Yantz, the Assistant Athletic Director and Sports Information Director at Case Western Reserve University. He is not here tonight, not on site at the football game, because he is being inducted into the Midview High School Hall of Fame, his alma mater, where he was a standout baseball and basketball player. And we congratulate Craig Yantz on that great honor, being inducted into his high school athletic Hall of Fame. And he is missed here tonight, but we know he's enjoying the event with his family tonight back in Cleveland. And we offer all of our congratulations to Craig Yantz. I don't know if we'll have to start treating him with more respect now.
We have to refer to him as the Hall of Famer, Craig Yantz.
Dan Whalen back to action, completes a pass out to Brian Webster. Webster makes the grab at the 45-yard line.
Does that mean now when Craig signs his name, he gets to write H-O-F after it?
The case.edu website has a nice article about that with some high school era pictures of Craig. So I thought that was very interesting as well.
Take some people back in the Wayback Machine.
Whalen will keep it himself as he runs up the middle, now cuts it back left, takes a hit at the 35. There's a flag coming out. Whalen runs for first down yardage as he picks up 10 yards, but takes a big lick at the end of that play. And we'll get a holding penalty against Case.
Unnecessary, as Whalen was already diving to the turf, and Case is going to get called for the block in the back from the spot.
Pardon me, yeah, you're right, a block in the back end, and they will mark this back 15 yards.
And so what was a first down will now be a 3rd and 3.
Mark it back to the 44. And it will, as Ed said, be 3rd down and 3. So wipe out the first down run by Whalen.
Brian Webster's checked in at wide receiver. Webster's in the slot to the right.
4 receivers set for Whalen. He'll go to Webster, and he is taken out behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, that's a bad spot for Webster. He caught the ball near the 41 and was pushed back, and they're going to mark him all the way behind the 42. They're going to say Webster lost 1.5 yards when he got pushed back. Horrible spot for the Spartans.
It'll be 4th down and 2 for the Spartans, and they will go for it here as they line up 3 running backs. No wide receivers right now. Whalen will take the handoff and go to Corey Check, and he's hit. Now he dives ahead after bouncing off a tackle. dives forward, and I'm not sure he got the yardage yet.
Checking will get a yard, but it won't be enough, and it won't be enough because of the bad spot on the Webster catch.
So the Spartans give it up on downs with 13:16 to go here in the second quarter. 10-7, Case leading it by 3, and the Big Red will take over now at the 42, operating in their own territory here with 13:16 to go in the first half. Spartans by 3, 10-7. The Big Red playing well at the outset. Nick Stevens is back in, the freshman quarterback, with 2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Back to throw, flips it out of the backfield. Catch is made at the 45, out to the 46-yard line. Ball came loose. Now there's some pushing and shoving, and some flags come out.
It's Jeff Brown going to get called for a personal foul as he spiked James Hall, the wide receiver, after the play.
Catch was made by Yandy Placencia. And then the foul will take place right at the spot of the tackle. And there is the personal foul call, and this will move it ahead all the way out to the 38-yard line.
Hall and Brown were locked up together at the end of the play. And some pushing and shoving, and finally Jeff Brown had had enough, and he picked up James Hall and simply spiked him into the floor.
Officials did not like that. We had about 3 flags come out simultaneously. First down and 10 from the Case 38-yard line. 10-7. Spartans leading it by 3. Stevens calls out the signals and takes the snap. He'll go back and hand up the middle. This is Dan Crawford, the junior, carrying the football out of Upper Arlington, Ohio. And he gets out to the 36-yard line, picks up 2, and it's a second down and 8 for the Big Red. 12:42 to go, second quarter. Coming up at halftime tonight, we'll be visiting with Greg Meyer, the senior running back, who has surpassed the 1,000-yard mark for his career in this game tonight. We'll talk with Greg at halftime. Also, Ben Yabro, the sophomore goalkeeper for the Case men's soccer team, will join us. Get an update on the Spartan soccer team. Stevens back with the snap, steps back, throws downfield, middle of the field, looking for Sean Eagle, and the pass is incomplete. Bobbled for just a moment. Actually, the intended target was Andy Carpenter, and Carpenter unable to hold on to it. It'll be third down.
It was one of the Sasalas that came off the edge and forced Stevens to step up, but Sasala was tackled, and he landed in Stevens' lap, which is why Stevens couldn't throw the ball as hard as he wanted it down the field, but offensive lineman just reached out and collared Sasala coming off the end. No call.
Both Sasala brothers in the game right now. Third down and 8. Big play here for the Big Red. Trailing the Spartans 10-7. Stevens back to throw again. In the pocket. Fires middle of the field. That one is picked off by the Spartans.
You could see the defensive secondary just baiting that. They drifted back, and they let Sean Eagle just come across the middle. Eagle did not run a crisp route, just kind of hooked it to the middle of the field and up-stepped. I believe that was Mike Pelyak.
Mike Pelyak with his second interception of the season. Second pick for the Spartans tonight, and the drive stalls on the turnover.
But Paramore and Pelyak really baited Stevens into throwing that ball over the middle of the field. He had a receiver underneath that was open, but he went to Eagle and up-step Pelyak for the interception.
Dan Whalen back out with the Spartans offense. They will go to Bill Deitman right up the middle. Big yardage, 40-45, and is tackled right there. Bill Deitman, his first carry of the night, the 5'10 junior out of Mentor, Ohio, rumbles ahead for the Spartans all the way out to the 45 and a first down.
I don't know if it was a check off or if it was a design play, but Case caught Denison in a blitz. Denison was bringing 2 linebackers, a quick inside trap play, and Deitman squirted ahead for 20 yards.
First down and 10. Case operating in their own territory at the 45-yard line. Whalen from the shotgun. 3 receivers set. They'll go to Greg Meyer. Turns the corner on the right side. Still on his feet across midfield. 45-40. And thrown down to the turf at the 35-yard line. Another 20-yard run for the Spartans. They They will mark his knee down at the 36, so he picks up 19 on the play.
DJ Sutka had a block. He pushed his lineman to the outside, and then as Meyer cut on the inside, Drew Homick for the Denison Big Red had a clear shot, and Sutka just picked him off, and it sprung Meyer for the big game.
Dan Whalen again takes the snap in the shotgun, hands to Greg Meyer. Same play, gets out close to the 30-yard line, so he is picking up another 6 yards on that play.
And Tony Opperman snuck out and really hit Caleb McFerrin to spring Meyer, so the Spartans are getting into the trap blocking and really finding the holes.
Injured Denison Big Red player here, as they will send the training staff out to check on the injured player. 11:08 to go here in the second quarter. Case leading it by a score of 10-7. And they have the football in Denison territory at the 30-yard line. It'll be second down and 5 once they take a look at the injured player. And while they do that, we will step away for a 30-second timeout. The Spartans leading it by 3. We'll be back with, well, let's see. They are going to get done quickly here. And the injured player is up on his feet, so we will keep it here. That player was Taylor Deloy, the senior linebacker from Chevy Chase, Maryland. And he is coming off the field on a jog under his own power. 11:08 to play here in the second quarter. Case up 10-7. Back to the line of scrimmage, the Case offense. They will drop out Colasar wide left. Cowdrick and Nicely in the slot left. Sutka is lined up at tight end on the right. Derek Bush is checked in the backfield to Dan Whalen's left. Shotgun snap to the senior quarterback. Guns it to Cowdrick over the middle of the field. Incomplete, but a flag comes out.
Pat Epinger's going to get called for the interference. He had his hand on Cowdrick's back. As Cowdrick came across, Eppinger reached around with his left arm and pulled Cowdrick back towards him and away from the football.
This should move the football down to the 16-yard line on the pass interference penalty.
Whalen got just enough time from his offensive line. Denison showing blitz. They brought blitz. They had everybody within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. The Denison corners and strong safety are playing man-to-man, nose-to-nose on the Case receiver, so it's a matter of the Spartans wideouts getting off the ball. If they can get some space, Whalen's got plenty of field to work with beyond the line of scrimmage.
Actually, mark this now on the 18-yard line of the Denison Big Red. Case first and 10 from the 18. Whalen to throw. Goes to the corner of the end zone and is going to be incomplete. Looking for Zach Homick. Nice defensive coverage there by Pat Eppinger.
Eppinger's playing this week because of an injury to Nick Weiss. The starting cornerback is out. He has a broken collarbone he suffered in practice this week, so Weiss is out, and the Spartans are working on the sophomore Eppinger out on an island, and I think the Spartans have the right idea as the Big Red continue to walk their defensive secondary towards the line of scrimmage. If they can hold the line out, Whalen's got a chance to really throw over the top.
Whalen will roll out, flips it to DJ Sutka, caught 15, down to the 10, and close to the 8-yard line. As Whalen hooks up with the tight end, DJ Sutka came into this game with 7 receptions on the season and 1 touchdown.
And Drew Homick tried to go low on Sutka, and Sutka just walked over the top of him for an additional 5 yards and close to a first down.
Football is marked at the 9. And it's a third down and less than 1 to go for the first down. 3 men in the backfield. Whalen will push straight ahead himself on the quarterback sneak. And that should be good for the first down and give Case a first and goal at the 8-yard line.
Whalen will get almost 3 yards on the carry. Following a couple of them big offensive linemen, Tony Opperman and Matt Yanasco, the 2 guards. Mike Allen just cleared the way, and the 2 guards just pushed the pile.
Yeah, they give him 2 and say it's on the 7. So first and goal from the 7. Spartans leading at 10-7. Dan Whalen takes the snap. He will go back, fake a handoff. Now he's in trouble in the backfield, gets away. Now he fires it toward the end zone, and it is incomplete.
That's a dangerous pass for Whalen. Throwing across his body back to the short side of the field into just red jerseys. Only 2 white jerseys in the end zone.
Yeah, Bryce Coleman was the intended target. Whalen throwing on the run. as he was almost sacked for a big loss, but was able to use his speed and get away. 2nd down and goal from the 7. Spartans tonight with a field goal from Sam Coffey of 36 yards. Corey Checken has a touchdown run, trying to add to this 3-point lead.
At Derek Bush in the backfield now.
Looks like Corey Checken there has checked in. That is Checken blocking for Whalen here. Throws to the end zone, and it's going to be caught. And it is a touchdown. Sean Nicely makes the catch on the touchdown for the Spartans, a 7-yard catch. And the Spartans score with 9:43 to go here in the 2nd quarter.
For Nicely, that's his 3rd touchdown of the season. And for Whalen, that's his 16th touchdown pass in 4 games.
First touchdown pass of the night for the senior quarterback, and Sam Coffey out to try the PAT. And the kick is on its way, and it is good for Coffey, and the Spartans extend the lead back out to 10 at 17-7 after the touchdown pass from Whalen to Sean Nicely. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to the Spartans Broadcasting Network.
Are you looking for somewhere to go after the game? Then come head down to the Euclid Tavern and enjoy our great food and entertainment. We'll be your football headquarters all season long, playing all the top games on our big screen TV. Plus, stop in with an appetite throughout the week and take advantage of our delicious food specials. Tacos are 50 cents on Tuesdays, 35-cent wing nights on Wednesday, and be there on Thursdays for college ID night with a live DJ. Come check out the Euclid Tavern, located on Euclid Avenue, just minutes from the Case campus.
This is Case Western Reserve Football on News Talk 1420 WHK.
David Wilson, Ed Doherty. Our studio engineer is Kevin Welsh. Happy to be bringing you Case Western Reserve Football tonight from Piper Stadium in Granville, Ohio, on the campus of Denison University, the home of the Denison Big Red. And it's 17-7 Case. Sean Nicely with the 7-yard touchdown reception, his 3rd of the season. And the Spartans will kick off here. Coffey with a drive all the way back to the 4-yard line. It'll be taken back by the Big Red. And on the return, out close to the 25-yard line with Sam Fiorini. And that's where the Big Red will take over. They will mark it on the 24 in their own territory. And the Spartans and Dan Whalen able to march downfield here and sort of take control back in this game after the Big Red scored somewhat of a surprising first quarter touchdown.
Well, the Big Red showing an offense not what Case has seen on film. More of a run-pass mix, not run-heavy, and a more mobile quarterback in
Nick Stevens has done a nice job. He'll hand it off this time straight up the middle. And again, that was Dan Crawford on the carry. Now, Nick Krimpaski was running very effectively early, but we have not seen him the last couple of series. And he's not in the football game right now, so I'm left to wonder what has happened to Nick Krimpaski, if there's an injury situation. Stevens will call out the signals under center. Still no Krimpaski in the football game. He'll take the snap and roll back to throw. Fires it incomplete. The ball was batted down at the line of scrimmage by the Spartans. I believe that was Jeff Brown who got a hand on that ball.
Jeff Brown had visions of scoring a touchdown on that one. And when he knocked the ball down, he couldn't bring it in. Had he managed to control the football, he'd have had about 25 yards and nothing but green in front of him, and the Spartans would have extended their lead.
Greg Jones, the sophomore wide receiver, was the intended target, so it's 3rd down and 10. As Stevens will again call out the signals. He has 2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. He will drop back to throw. The freshman flips it out on a screen pass. It's complete, but then a quick tackle by the Spartans back at the 20-yard line. This will lose yardage as they got the pass completion to Josh Atkins, the sophomore running back out of Heath, Ohio, but he is tackled And the football is resting at the 24-yard line, so they give him forward progress to the line of scrimmage, and it's 4th down.
Rich Doolin could have been called for roughing the passer. He pushed Stevens down as he let go of the football.
Punt will be taken by Calabrese at the 35-yard line, and he powers his way up the sideline back to the 42. A 7-yard return for Dan Calabrese after the punt. Matt Ring, the punter, sophomore, got a good kickoff, and the Spartans will start out in their own territory. 1st and 10 at the 42, leading at 17-7. And Whalen has thrown for 1 touchdown. Corey Chekin has rushed for another. Sam Coffey with a field goal. That's where we stand right now, 17-7. Whalen takes the snap of the shotgun, hands up the middle to Bill Deitman, shakes off a tackler, gets across midfield, and is tackled at the 42-yard line on the other side of the field. 16-yard run for Bill Deitman, and he's racking up some pretty good yardage early, Ed.
Yeah, for Deitman, when you add in the 16-yard carry there, Deitman now over 30 yards on the football game. He came in with just 67 on the season.
Whalen working from the shotgun, 1st down and 10. They will give Whalen a high snap. He'll hand back to Deitman. Again, good running yardage all the way out to the 30-yard line.
And Tony Opperman's lucky he wasn't called for being in the backfield, Case not having enough linemen on the line of scrimmage. Opperman, the left guard, pulled out to the right side to block for Deitman, but Opperman started a good body length behind the center, Mike Allen. And he's doing it again. He's deeper in the backfield, and Opperman better move up. There's a chance a flag's going to come out on him.
Line of scrimmage is the 31-yard line of the Big Red. They will hand this one to Greg Meyer. Cuts back up the middle, gets to the 25, down close to the 23-yard line before he is hauled down. It'll be 2nd down for Case.
Opperman and Kluzinski also with a couple of nice blocks out there. Pancake blocks on the Denison Big Red, which sprung Meyer for 7.
As Spartans right now moving it on the ground with Deitman and Meyer. Started at the 42-yard line.
It's an offense averaging just over 130 yards a game on the ground, but Case prefers to go to the air, 365 yards per game throwing the football.
Whalen rolls out, pump fakes. Now he fires back across the field to Corey Chekin, makes the grab at the 25-yard line, still on his feet, 20, down to the 15, still on his feet and tackled near the 12-yard line. Some nifty footwork by the former wrestler from Ohio University. And now gets the Spartans down inside the 15 after the release valve play to Corey Chekin.
Whalen had some fancy footwork, sidestepped a defender, moved back to his left, and before he got rid of the football, the defender he sidestepped was coming back, threw the ball low. Chekin picked it off the carpet, then himself sidestepped a couple of tackles and got inside the 15-yard line.
They mark it at the 13, 1st and 10 Case. Whalen back to throw, goes far right side to Nicely. He's all alone, 5, dives for the pylon. He's in for a touchdown, but there's a flag down in the backfield. Whalen went down hard after getting rid of that football. Whalen's jogging off the field, and they are going to say it's a personal foul call, roughing the passer against Denison. It's going to be a touchdown for Case, I believe, Ed.
It is going to be a touchdown. Greg Meyer. Is it Greg Meyer on the reception?
It was Sean Nicely on the reception.
So the personal foul will be imposed on the kickoff. Case will kick from the 45. But the play will count. The way Corey Chekin reacted on that, I thought they were going to get Chekin for a hold after Whalen had released the football.
Nicely,
it goes the other way.
13-yard touchdown reception. And the extra point for Sam Coffey is up, and it is good. And the Spartans extend the lead to 24-7 with 6:36 to go here in the first half. We'll step away for a 30-second timeout. We'll be back with more from Denison University after this on the Spartans Broadcasting Network.
How to explain the new RTA Healthline to the stratosphere. Hey, Stratosphere, down here. Yeah, up on the roof. Yeah, so you know how you like having a stable temperature and an abundant supply of oxygen? Well, good news, Sky. The new RTA Healthline vehicle that zooms down Euclid Avenue is powered by hybrid technology. It produces like 90% less emissions, so give it up. High five. Oh, don't leave me hanging, Stratosphere. Seriously, high five.
The RTA Healthline, pumping new life into Cleveland.
This is Case Western Reserve Football on News Talk 1420 WHK.
Hey, friends, coming up tonight after our broadcast of Spartans football, tune into the Sports Fix with Nick Kubik, Kevin Welsh, and Vic Cortez. They'll take you up to midnight tonight, talking sports with you here on AM 1420 WHK. That's coming up after Spartans football tonight. 24-7. Spartans extend the lead as Sean Nicely makes his second touchdown catch of the day, and with the penalty yardage marked off, Sam Coffey booms that one into the end zone from the 45.
Not sure I understand that. With a short field and the ability of Coffey to either pin a ball deep in a corner or squib kick, they've done that a couple of times this year, a little pooch kick, recover the football. I'm surprised they just simply went with the boomer and set Denison out at the 20-yard line.
That is where Denison will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 20. 14 unanswered points by the Spartans right now after they led 10-7. Now 24-7 Case with 6:36 to go here before halftime. Nick Stevens, freshman quarterback, goes back, hands. I believe that was Crawford again getting the carry. We'll see. Hits the pile. Not much yardage. They will give one on the play, maybe. 2nd down, a long 9. Playing under the lights here tonight. Case was the first opponent ever to play a night game here at Deeds Field at Piper Stadium.
In the newly renovated field. 70 years ago, the field did have lights. They were taken down for the war effort in World War II.
Back to throw, Fisher. He will gun it downfield, and it is caught by the tight end, Sean Eagle. Out across the 30-yard line. It'll be good for a first down. They'll mark it down at the 33.
Well, Eagle used his hands to catch the football, but he landed on his hands, and I wonder if the turf assisted in the catch. He didn't look to get his fingers underneath the football. He did control it, but the question is whether or not the turf assisted in the catch.
13-yard pickup and a first down for the Big Red. 24-7 Case. 5:40 to play here in the second quarter. Fisher goes back, hands up the middle, and diving out to the 35-yard line was Krimpaski, who comes back into the football game. So whether or not he was shaken up on a play earlier, we're not sure. He set out a couple series. Picks up one on the play. 2nd down and 9. The Spartans leading it. 24-7. Dan Whalen with 2 touchdown passes to Sean Nicely. The second, he took a hit on a roughing the passer penalty, but still hooked up with Nicely for a 13-yard touchdown pass.
2 tight ends set for Denison, 1 in a wing. Eagle tucked on the right side of the formation.
2 wide receivers, 1 on each side. They will go back to throw. Fisher goes deep downfield, has a man open, and is going to be caught all the way down at the 20-yard line as they hook up with Brandon Taylor, the senior out of Cincinnati.
And they're going to add 15 more. Jeff Brown's going to get called for roughing the passer. He went helmet to helmet with Stevens after he released the football. Hit wasn't late, but it was high. And Brown's going to get called for roughing the passer against Stevens.
44 yards on the pass play to Brandon Taylor. And then they will pick up the football and march off the penalty yardage. So this will go from the 22, and they will mark this one down at the 11. So half the distance to the goal line on that particular play. And it is 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line on a play that yields 55 yards. Krimpaski carrying left side, gets to the 10.
First time we've seen the fullback for Denison. Link Johnson came in. Not much of a block. He simply ran into a wall of white shirts, and Krimpaski followed him. The two were able to move the pile for a yard, but not much there. The Case defense is stiffened. But this is the 7th time an opponent has been inside the Case red zone this season. Previous 6 trips have all yielded touchdowns. See if the Case defense can stiffen.
And that includes one tonight. And Denison scored in the first quarter, 24-7. Case leading it. Fisher takes the snap, rolls right, throws, and it is incomplete, looking for Eagle. He was lobbying for a flag. Defense for Case provided by Greg Kingscott. Also Dan Calabrese in the area, knocking that ball away from Sean Eagle. 4.5 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Case up 24-7, looking for their 25th consecutive regular season win. And looking to improve on that 9th place ranking in Division III football. 4 minutes, 30 seconds showing on the clock. 3rd down and 9. They can get a first down at the 1. Nick Fisher calls out the signals, takes the snap. He will hand to Krimpaski, gets tripped up behind the line of scrimmage, and he's fought to the turf by the Spartans. And again, Kingscott was in there. Lee Sasala was in there on the tackle on Krimpaski. And the Big Red will have to settle for a field goal attempt.
Well, you could tell the way the Big Red was lined up. They had the power to the left side of the formation. The tight end was coming in motion or was showing motion back to the right. You knew the play was going to come to the right side. Case stuffed it, and it forced the field goal.
Schneider on to kick. This is spotted at the 17, and he pushes it off to the left, so the 27-yard attempt is no good. And after a big yardage play on the pass completion to Taylor and the pass interference, or the roughing the passer penalty, the Big Red comes away empty-handed after getting into the red zone. And as Ed, you alluded to, the first time that the Spartans have been able to avoid a score with an opponent reaching the red zone.
And that's a big accomplishment, if for nothing else, mentally, to really put yourself in a positive state of mind after what's happened in the first 15 minutes, where Denison had some momentum, was moving the ball up and down, and then to get in the red zone, not on a grind-em-out kind of drive, but a big play and a penalty, and then all of a sudden to change that mindset, turn it on, and stiffen, and not allow any points.
Now the Spartans have the football, 1st and 10 at their own 20. 3 receivers set. Meyer is in the backfield with Whalen. Dan Whalen to throw, rolls right side. Now he wants to run it himself. Now he pulls up, fires to Colasar, makes the catch. He's open at the 45 to the 50, still on his feet, cuts it back middle of the field, and they wipe him out at the 42-yard line. The Spartans with a big gain of 38 yards from Whalen to Colasar.
Whalen looked like a long jumper on that play as they approached the board to take off. Whalen approached the 20-yard line and didn't move.
Now a flag thrown on the far side of the field long after the play was over.
It's going to be a bench warning against Case.
They'll await the call, but that looks to be exactly right, Ed.
No, they are going to call it an ineligible forward pass. No.
Sideline obstruction.
That's a wave behind the back, Dave. I always thought was an ineligible forward pass. Sideline obstruction is usually 2 hands out to the side, pushing forward.
And I will say this, you know your ref signals. You're always trying to educate me on those as well. They mark it back 5 yards. And it is going to be at the 46-yard line.
So it'll be 1st and 15. They're going to get them for 5 yards. Usually there's a warning given, as all the players need to stay a full 3 yards off the sideline so the referees can move up and back.
Well, the officials are still talking about this, Ed, and I'm not sure if they are all in agreement about the way this has been handled.
Well, the referee gave a signal for an illegal forward pass with his wave behind his back. If that was the case, in which I thought it actually was, I thought Whalen had crossed the 20-yard line when he let go with the football. But they are going to call it a sideline infraction. mark it off. 1st and 15.
Football is at
now they're going to call it 1st and 10. It's a dead ball foul, and they're going to move it back.
Football is at the 46 in Denison territory. 3:39 to go, second quarter. So now they're ready to go. Whalen will work from the shotgun, standing right at the 50-yard line. 3 receivers set. Webster is alone on the left. They will hand this to Greg Meyer. He tries to cut back over the right side and gets down close to the 42-yard line, so he picks up 4.
The officials tonight, Dave, are having a tough time. I think on the internal linemen, there have been some holding calls on both sides not called. Case getting away with not having enough men on the line of scrimmage, but then to show up and call a sideline infraction and have a bad call on a Webster 3rd down play. Officials are having a tough night tonight.
Whalen on 2nd down and 6. Will flip it to Meyer, and they reverse it to Cowdrick. He has Whalen blocking for him, gets across the 40 to the 35, and he's knocked out of bounds.
Whalen threw a block on Drew Clannon, and it sprung Cowdrick for an extra 5 yards. Boy, and Yanasco might have got away with one as well for Case. Looked like he was moving to pull out early.
35-yard line is where Cowdrick was run out of bounds. 1st and 10 Case as they go with the reverse to the senior wideout, Tim Cowdrick out of Mentor, Ohio. Now Whalen again takes the snap. He will hand this one to Derek Bush, and he is tripped up right at the line of scrimmage.
Tony Opperman is telegraphing when he's pulling out because he's coming so far behind the line of scrimmage in order not to clip Mike. And the Big Red were ready that time. They identified that Opperman was coming around the right side.
Bush lost a yard on the play, 2nd down and 11. And Case asks for and gets a timeout. And they will talk things over here, and we will take a 30-second timeout. 2:19 to play in the second quarter. The score, Case 24, Denison 7. We'll be back after this 30-second break on the Spartans Broadcasting Network.
Looking for a convenient and upscale hotel for your next visit to Case? The Doubletree Hotel Cleveland Downtown Lakeside is an official hotel sponsor for Case Athletics. Just 10 minutes from campus, the Doubletree offers the Stadium 3 Bar and Grill, Starbucks, the Sweet Dreams bedding package, attached parking, complimentary shuttle, indoor pool, and a warm Doubletree cookie at check-in. Contact the hotel at 216-241-5100 for a special $89 rate. We'll take care of you while you cheer on the Spartans. The Doubletree Hotel Cleveland Downtown Lakeside, a proud sponsor of Case Athletics.
This is Case Western Reserve Football on News Talk 1420 WHK.
Spartans with the 24-7 lead over the Denison Big Red. Back to action. Whalen back to throw. Goes up top looking for Cowdrick, and the ball is picked off. Intercepted by Drew Clannon of Denison. Returns it back out across the 30.
Whalen threw it off his back foot, never set. Just lobbed it out there, and he thought his arm would have enough to get it out to Cowdrick deep behind the Denison territory, and Clannon came over from his free safety position and made the interception. Whalen put nothing on the ball, just a rainbow that was left hanging.
Clannon, the sophomore out of Circleville, Ohio, gets it back for the Big Red with 2:10 to play here in quarter number 2. David Wilson, Ed Doherty, Kevin Welsh back at our WHK studios tonight. Glad to be with you, bringing you Case football under the lights. We'll have another night game next week at the College of Worcester.
The first ever night game at the College of Worcester.
That'll be coming up next Saturday night. We'll also have that game for you right here on AM 1420. Fisher back out, and he will call out the signals, and we have encroachment, I believe, is going to be called on the Big Red, or a false start penalty. That will go against Denison. They'll mark it back 5 yards. It'll be 1st down and 15. Looked like Stevens was a little jumpy there, Ed.
Looks like the quarterback, Stevens, tried to give a hard count. Bobbed his shoulders too much.
We have seen the return to action tonight of Derek Bush, who had 57 carries and 337 yards last year for Case. He had been out the first 3 games. He has seen limited action tonight. Case leading at 24-7. Big Red with the football. Stevens back to throw. Fires it toward the middle of the field. That's Sean Eagle, and it hit him right in the numbers, and then the pass was dropped.
That's a horrible mismatch for the Case Spartans. Eagle lines up tight on the right side of the formation, then splits out as a stand-up end, and he's going one-on-one with Dan Calabrese. And Calabrese just doesn't have the size or the mass to contend with Eagle. And if Eagle had caught the football, he probably would have run over Calabrese.
Calabrese just 5'7", 180, and they list Sean Eagle at 6'3", 251.
That's a horrible mismatch that Case got caught in.
Second down and 15 after the incompletion, so the Spartans get a break there. 2 minutes to go. Now Stevens again wants to throw it. He will go deep downfield. This one is up for grabs, and it's going to be incomplete as it's knocked away by Greg Kingscott, intended for Lucas Graham, who caught a touchdown pass earlier in the half. It's incomplete, and it's third down and 15.
Well, I like the arm of Nick Stevens. Talking to some people before the game, they weren't sure what they were going to get out of the freshman, as Braden Lehrer is much more of a pocket passer, stand up and throw the football if he has to. But again, Denison preferring to run the ball tonight. Very balanced on offense tonight, and Stevens looks very comfortable for being a freshman. Not intimidated by the situation at all.
Yeah, playing the 9th-ranked team in the country, he has really represented himself quite well so far, and he's back to throw again. This one is overthrown. His intended target was Brandon Taylor, and it will be 4th and 15 for the Big Red. Case should get good field position out of this, Ed, and as we have seen many times, especially this season, the Spartans not afraid to try and use the last portion of the half to put up some extra numbers.
Well, 2 weeks ago against Oberlin, they led by 35 and had the ball at their own 8-yard line with under a minute to play, and Whalen worked his magic and moved the Case Spartans down the field and threw not one but two Hail Mary touchdown passes to close out the half.
Here comes the punt, and it is a good one. A spiraling punt sending Holmick all the way back to the 30-yard line, 35-40, 45, and tackled near the 47-yard line. Zach Holmick on the punt return unit. Tonight it'll be 1st and 10 Case.
Yeah, Holmick on the season, not usually your punt returner, but Bobby Bott and Sean Nicely usually back there. But with the injury to Bott, Holmick has to step in, and not an easy assignment to tell somebody to go stand back 40 yards behind the line, look up in the air, and have 11 guys run at you at the same time.
Yeah, Bobby Bott was shaken up earlier. He is standing over on the sideline, still in uniform. Has his helmet off right now and is just watching. Whalen back to throw. Screen pass to Greg Meyer. Caught 50, 45, down to the 40-yard line. Takes a hit and is dropped right there at the 40. And so the Spartans pick up 13 on the play as Greg Meyer again makes the catch out of the backfield. We'll talk about that at halftime. That's a new wrinkle in the Case offense this year, looking at some screen pass opportunities to the running backs.
Disadvantage for the Spartans here. They're heading away from the scoreboard.
Whalen throwing for Tim Cowdrick on the run, and it's over Cowdrick's head, incomplete. Second down and 10. Working at the Denison 40-yard line. Case has one timeout left. They do have a 24-7 lead. We're at Piper Stadium on the campus of Denison University, a beautiful Division III facility, surrounded by trees and some of the athletic facilities here at Denison.
Well, the city of Granville itself, Dave, is beautiful, very reminiscent of Chagrin Falls in the Cleveland area.
Whalen steps up in the pocket, fires, and the ball is knocked down. Batted down on a nice defensive play by Bill Ackerman, the senior linebacker. And the Spartans will look at a 3rd and 10 here with 1:22 to play. Denison did score a first quarter touchdown tonight. Case jumped out to a 10-0 lead. Then 10-7. The Spartans since have gotten a couple of touchdown receptions from Sean Nicely to push it back out to a 24-7 lead. Late stages of the first half, Whalen a quick out to Zach Holmick, 40, 35, down to the 30-yard line. Good for first down yardage near the 27.
Andrew Zajac really freed him on that reception. Zajac came up his right tackle position and really had a nice kick-out block for Holmick to pick up 10 yards.
Yeah, all the way down to the 26-yard line. So they pick up 14 there. Holmick really got some extra yardage at the end, as you said. And the Spartans with another 1st and 10. Whalen with time to throw. Middle of the field. Hits Chekin with a pass. 15-10. Down close to the 6-yard line before he is wrestled down.
You don't expect Corey Chekin to outrun anybody, but there he had some separation after catching the football. Ran away from Andrew Fruden, the linebacker in the football game. Chekin created some space after catching the football.
Football is on the 6. 1st and goal, Case. 49 seconds left. 2nd quarter. Whalen to throw. Wings it out too nicely. He makes the catch, and it's a touchdown, Spartans, as Nicely hauls in his 3rd touchdown of the night. This time a 6-yard strike from Dan Whalen.
What was a slow start for the Spartans tonight here in Granville. They've erupted for 21 points in the last 9 minutes. They've really put some distance between themselves and the Big Red.
Sean Nicely with the trifecta. 3 touchdown catches tonight. Coffey on to attempt the extra point. Colasar with the hold. The kick is up, and it is good. And the Spartans extend the lead now to 31-7 with 43 seconds left to go in the first half. We'll step away from this timeout. Back in 30 seconds on the Spartans Broadcasting Network.
Quiznos at the Circle is proud to team up with Case Athletics as a platinum sponsor. Quiznos offers the great taste of fresh, hot, toasted subs. Great food just goes well with great athletics. Mention that you heard this ad during the Case football game and receive $1 off a regular sub and $2 off if Case wins today. Offer good till Tuesday, so hurry in to Quiznos on the Circle. If the Spartans win, so do you. Quiznos, the best damn sandwich in the land. Quiznos at the Circle and Case Athletics, partners in excellence. Quiznos. Toasty.
This is Case Western Reserve Football on News Talk 1420 WHK.
31-7, Case leading it with 43.8 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. We hope you'll stay tuned at halftime. We'll be visiting with Greg Meyer of the Case Western Reserve Spartans, as well as Ben Yabro, the sophomore goalkeeper for the Case men's soccer team. Ed will have a complete look at the halftime stats and a scoring summary as well. Coffey boots it back to the 5-yard line. It'll be returned there by the Big Red. Carrying the football back is Sam Fiorini, and he is tackled out across the 25, down close to the 27-yard line. And the Big Red will take over in their own territory with 39 seconds left. They do have 3 timeouts.
Well, the Spartans on the evening, Dave, just a quick look at the stat sheet. 363 yards in total offense tonight on 47 plays, so just over 7, maybe 8 yards per play tonight. They're averaging just under 8 yards per play on the season, so statistically this is a typical Case game, but it certainly didn't start out that way.
They did have an early 10-0 lead. Denison closed within 10-7, and now the Spartans have exploded, and they lead at 31-7 here as they keep the football on the ground, going to Dan Crawford. And he is tackled near the 35-yard line. Pickup of 5. 2nd down and 5. Does not look like the Big Red will try and stop the clock here. And that may be the final play of the first half, and it will be. Dan Whalen, with 3 touchdown passes, now has 18 touchdown passes on the season in 3.5 games. Sean Nicely with 3 touchdown receptions tonight. He has 5 on the season, and that has added up to a 31-7 halftime lead for the Case Western Reserve Spartans. Spartans on the road in Granville, Ohio, and the Spartans well on their way to a 25th consecutive regular season win. We have another half to go. 31-7 Case as the teams head for the locker room here at Piper Stadium.